Welcome back to another restoration video, everyone. Today I'm going to be working on a pair of Nike Air Max Pluses. These shoes have seen a lot of abuse in their lifetime, which is evident through the worn out outsole. In some areas of the shoe, the outsole was worn through so much that it started wearing through the midsole. Some of the design elements on the upper of the shoes are starting to peel off, and there are some holes in the upper of the shoes that will need to be restitched. Some of the design elements on the upper have had some of the paint rub off of them. I'll need to repaint these due to them being clear. There is also a small tear on one of the uppers of the shoes, which I'll need to glue down. There are also a few small holes on the sock liner of the shoe, which has exposed the foam behind it. For some odd reason, the stitching for the sock liner has randomly come off. It is allowing me to see the foam behind it and also is starting to crease over onto the outside of the shoe. To start off, I'm going to get rid of the original outsoles by using some acetone to melt the original glue. Now with the midsoles removed off of the shoes, I'm going to go ahead and clean the upper of the shoes as there are some dirt stains left in them. The only thing that I will need to salvage from the original midsoles is this plastic middle piece on them. This piece of the shoe is specific to this colorway, which I will not be able to find on any other Air Max Plus colorways. You can see here that there's a green sparkle behind the gray. I was able to get one of the plastic pieces off the original midsole with only some minor damage to it. Since I will not be reusing these midsoles, I figured it was a lot easier just to cut the plastic piece out of the midsole. With the help of some acetone, I was able to break down the bond between the foam of the shoes. While I'm waiting for the donor pairs to show up, I'm going to go ahead and throw the uppers into the washing machine. There are some embedded stains left in the upper that I'm hoping the washing machine can get out better than I can with a hand brush. If you made it to this point of the video and are enjoying it, it'd be greatly appreciated if you went ahead and liked and subscribed. Also, make sure to go follow the Mile High Sneakers Instagram and TikTok accounts for more exclusive content. Now with the uppers out of the washing machine, I'm going to go ahead and restitch the areas that have holes in them. The stitch definitely does not look the prettiest, but it will hold.
This is a Homage beat.
As I stated earlier in the video, there are some design elements on the upper of the shoe that have paint fading off of them. I need to repaint these just because that underneath the gray paint, they are clear, which allows you to see the red upper of the shoe underneath it. For this paint match, I used some white, black, some green, and blue. I ended up laying down 2 coats of paint on all of the upper elements and ended up putting a matte finisher for 2 coats after. After repainting the upper elements, the shoe is looking 10 times better. The shoe looks a lot more complete with this done. For this next part of the restoration, I'm going to go ahead and try and dye a pair of white laces red. Here I'm just using some scarlet red dye from RIT. I threw the laces into the mixture with the RIT dye for about 2.5 days. This didn't end up working out and the laces ended up turning out just a light pink. I also tried dipping the laces directly into the RIT dye just without any water, and they still ended up coming out pink. To get the midsoles off of the donor pair of shoes, I went ahead and used a blow dryer and some acetone to melt the glue. I I also used the same method of heat and acetone to get the outsoles and the plastic support off of the midsoles. To fix the separation between the sock liner and the upper of the shoe, I'm going to go ahead and use some Barge Super Stick cement to glue it back into place. I used a blow dryer to heat the glue back up after about 10 minutes of letting the glue cure. Luckily for me, the donor midsoles already fit quite well with the original upper of the shoe. So I'm just going to go ahead and use a Dremel to lightly sand it down just so the glue can stick better to it. Before I started painting the midsoles, I went ahead and sanded them down with 400 grit sandpaper and used some acetone and cotton balls. For the red paint, I went ahead and used some red and just some black paint to get the correct mixture. I also used this same red paint mixture to paint the upper of the shoes before I re-glued them back to the midsoles. The donor outsoles originally are just gray with some lighter gray on the back portion of them. The original outsoles of the shoes are just plain red. So to make the outsoles red, I just went ahead and used some Angelus walk-on red paint. I cleaned the outsoles of the shoes with some acetone and cotton balls before I laid down the paint. I ended up laying down about 4 coats of paint on the outsoles to get a full coverage.